Hello, kids. Welcome back to another episode of Love Trains number 2. We'll be headed down to the Western Railway Museum to learn how cable cars work. We'll have more funny bloopers, more songs written by our favorite singer-songwriter James Coffey, plus a lot more. So off we go. Enjoy the video. As always, we open with a song.
As they travel along on the railroad track with the little boxcars being pulled back, you can hear the sound of that clickety-clack as they pass the houses and the little toy shack. It's a wonderful kind of feeling, it's a feeling I can't explain. It's a wonderful kind of feeling, that's the reason I love toy trains. They make me feel just fine. There's always lots of fun coming down the line, past the station house and the railroad sign. It's a wonderful kind of feeling, it's a feeling I can't explain. It's a wonderful kind of feeling, that's the reason I love toy trains. It's a wonderful kind of feeling, it's a feeling I can't explain. It's a wonderful kind of feeling, that's the reason I love toy trains.
We are planning to go to the museum to get some shots and tell you how trolleys work. But so I'll leave it up to my pal Dave to show you how a trolley works.
I'm Dave, and I'm an operator here at the Seashore Trolley Museum in Kennebunkport, Maine. In this series of short videos, we're going to give you the basics of the operation of a trolley. Trolleys operate with electric motors that run on electric power, and the electric power is provided by the wire that is over the top of the car. Power comes down the pole through the electric motors, and its path of travel is actually out through the track. So to connect this trolley to power, we let the trolley pole make contact with the overhead wire. And as it does, we see that the lights go on, and the compressor that operates the brakes is functioning as well. And now we have the power that we need to take this car for a ride up the track. This is an example of a trolley motor and what they look like when we're testing them in the shop. And with power applied, the motor spins just as it would while operating in the trolley car. This shiny looking cylinder is where electricity from the trolley pole and then the controller goes in and creates the movement. On this end, the small gear would engage with a large gear on the axle to make the wheels rotate. This animation provides a basic representation of how electric power is turned into rotational motion. The electric field is continually reversed from positive to negative, and changing the polarity of the magnetism provides the rotation that we need to move a trolley car forward.
Thanks for the demonstration, Dave. See you soon.
Oh no!
Before diesels came around in America, steam was king, and it was the good old days. You could say that was the railroads of America that kept us going.
How I love those great steam engines from long ago. My grandpa used to tell me about them. I How you could hear the roar of the engine 30 minutes before the train even got there. How the smoke poured from the stack, that marvelous choo-choo sound. And the whistle. When Grandpa hears the sound of a steam engine's whistle, he closes his eyes and can see that great steamer turning round the bend and pulling into the station just as clear as it was happening right now in front of him. Grandpa grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania. He would sit on a hill and wave at the engineer as the train sped past. And the engineer would always wave back. But steam was king in America, and fire-eating monsters rode the rails, and the 505 was right on time.
biggest steam engine in the world. It and its siblings, all numbered 4,000s, would climb over the Sherman grade, pulling heavy goods trains. The UP were having trouble getting trains over the hill because they would usually have to double or even triple head problems with their usual engines. So they first built the Big Boys' little brother, the Challenger, and then they built the Big Boys after the Challengers even had to be double-headed. The Big Boys had a good working life in 4014 is still working as to this day and doing rail tours. So let's get some video of it in action. I was also able to see the Big Boy in person at the West Pacific Railroad Museum in Portola, California. It's still running strong and it is running really well.
Is that the big boy?
Yeah, those are the little tenders.
I think you should start over.
No, it's fine.
Wave at them, Tony. Wave. Here, I'm gonna go sideways.
gotta do? Gotta go. I gotta do United. See you next time on I Love Trains number 3.
Hear that sound of that clickety-clack as they travel along down the railroad track, with the little boxcars being pulled and back, and that little puff of smoke coming out the stack. I love toy trains. I love toy trains. I love the way they look and the way they sound, stopping at the stations in every town. I love the way they travel all around and round. That's the reason I love toy trains. I love to hear the sound of that clickety-clack as they travel along down the railroad track, with the little boxcars being pulled and back. That's the